With the recent successes of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and the Heaven's Feel films, it's a really good time to be a Ufotable fan right now. Their combination of digital techniques with stylish 2D animation has made each of their shows an absolute joy to watch. Here are 5 things you need to know about the studio. A lot of studio names are kind of meaningless, or their name is some vague reference to something a long time ago, but Ufotable is real, or rather, a table shaped like a UFO is real. The studio president, Hikaru Kondo, is a fan of furniture, and around the time he was creating the studio, he was trying to get his hands on a European table in the shape of a UFO. He was thinking of it as the sort of table that everyone can gather around and share ideas. But ultimately, it's just the only thing he could think of when he finally had to choose a name. He now does own that table and takes it to events sometimes, like a company mascot. Ufotable have put out many series and films over the years, from game to manga adaptations, but they haven't had the opportunity to make an original series in a while. But they have announced one, to be produced in collaboration with Type Moon. Girls' Work is an anime that was initially announced in 2010, but has since received no news or even a cancellation. At this point, we're fairly sure it's never coming out, but it's amusing to think that it's still on its way. Anime studios generally don't have that many sources of revenue. They can make anime, but that's a long process for studios like Ufotable that don't do a lot of outsourcing work and prefer to focus on their own shows. Therefore, the studio has opted to expand into creating their own restaurants and cafes across the country. Right now, they own 5 cafes and 1 restaurant, and they'll do collaborations with their own and others' properties. Unsurprisingly, they're currently collaborating with Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. In the anime industry, it's generally common to have some staff as permanent employees of a studio, but directors and most animation staff will be freelancers who are invited to work on a project-by-project basis. But Ufotable's production model generally involves focusing on promoting their own staff into directorial roles. So even though Aoki directed Fate Zero at the company, every Fate anime since has been directed by an employee at the studio. In this way, the director will always have a complete understanding of the capabilities of the team. So therefore, collaboration is the key to Ufotable's success. People talk about them having a higher budget than other studios, but in reality their quality is to do with the close communication between all of Ufotable's different departments. Incongruity between CG, digital and 2D elements are often down to the studio having to outsource all of these different parts, and struggling to keep up communication between studios across Tokyo. But for Ufotable, all of these different groups are mere feet away and have worked together for years. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan, and feel free to subscribe to find out more about Japanese anime, games, fashion, music, and more.